to Android Stunts.
What's up, y'all? Brent Tactic, Do Androids Dance. Another episode of Bass Music Live here in Kansas City. Actually on the tour bus for Smog Records tonight. They're here at the Riot Room in Kansas City. Here with Drew. He's the founder and main dude, I'd say, at Smog. Correct?
Started the label and started doing the events about 7 years ago.
Nice.
with 12th Planet and my partner Danny Johnson. And it's been sort of this wild run and life-changing experience.
You've got a background in the Midwest as far as like coming up in Chicago.
That's true.
Tell me a little bit about that and like kind of how that influenced you to make the move to the West Coast.
Well, Chicago definitely influenced me in a lot of ways. It's a big city for house music. It's a big city for dance music.
Always.
When I was in high school, I was DJing and very competitive scene. I started to throw my own parties just to kind of have like gigs of my own.
Sure.
So I kind of went that angle and then sort of decided like I like doing more of the event production side. But by '99, I'd say the music scene in Chicago kind of took a shift. The underground sort of phased out and things went more clubs. So I decided I needed a career and I moved to LA after going to film school. And we moved there to get into like post-production and visual effects.
Okay.
And still found myself back in music too.
Of course. And honestly, I like the fact that you use the word career. Because like there's so many people that are on like, you know, those impulse things of being like, oh, you know, I've got some DJ gigs, so like things are cracking off, or I've got a couple of tunes that are coming off, that are coming out that are cracking off. You know, tell me a little bit about what that thought process is as far as like actually trying to define a career, and then like how did that kind of do the organic transformation into Smog as far as like, you know, a label?
Well, you know, I took a break from the music scene and just focused on being a graphic designer, motion graphic designer, and music was something I loved. I loved being part of the LA scene. I worked for a couple different people like Insomniac and Droid Behavior that does a lot of techno shows in LA, and just kind of like helping out friends. Like I just enjoyed being part of the community, so I'd make flyers and started doing visuals, and then dubstep sort of just fell in my lap. You know, I fell in love with the music. I remember seeing like videos on YouTube about, you know, the ashtray at DMZ or the trough of piss at Dubor, and then just seeing the wakes of piss vibrating and just like blowing my mind how like this whole sound was just about like just bass and like everything else had been stripped out. And so it was really appealing to me, and you know, I really wanted to create that sort of scene community in LA.
Cool.
So you know, some of my friends and I got together just to throw a party, which was going to be called Smog.
Okay.
And it kind of took on a life of its own. I really only wanted to do like one show and just see what happened, and it turned into this animal, and now I'm on a tour bus, and it's 8 years later,
North America,
and I quit my day job, and now like everything is kind of all come into this. So it's pretty cool.
That's what's up. That's 2013 was like a really big year for the label, just like an onslaught of big releases, and it felt like you guys just kind of like took things over. Like how? Tell me a little bit about like what that meant to the crew and how that helped descend into where things are at now.
Well, the label portion has been around since 2008. Is when 12th and I decided we were going to do a vinyl-only label, and we did our printing and distribution from the UK, and it was going to be you know, a domestic price for people in the UK and Europe, and you know, we would just do more sales out there. digital thing sort of took off a bit more. Our distributor in the UK ended up screwing us, so we ended up going off more into the digital realm, and we went from being like an underground label to like a more official business. And so things got more serious for us in 2012. We put a lot of work into the label itself so we could set ourselves up for what we were planning on doing, and that was taking this label and really pushing it forward. So yeah, last year was like the full
planned power move.
Yeah. So it's been great, and all the guys that we've been working with for a long time, like we made them, officially part of the deal, and we really went after some new artists and brought some new people in the picture. Noah D, Anti-Serum, SPL, who'd been doing some tracks with John. We said let's make it official, you know. But like we kind of like went after like some of the big stars in the West Coast scene, and then reaching out beyond that. A lot of the guys have been making their own sort of unique styles and going off in different directions, and it's been pretty exciting to see,
That's what's up.
And they've been bringing, artists that we want to work with to us, and it's been awesome. Like, we just have like this huge spectrum of music now that we're supporting, not just dubstep. It's going like well beyond that. I feel like it's a level of quality that we set a very high standard for what we do, and we're constantly trying to get our guys to just push harder and harder and harder.
That's dope.
As a result, it really like shows. I feel you can hear it.
Yeah, no, I like that's kind of what I was like doing the little like fanboy thing for a second. I feel like I'm seeing it. Really, just one more question for you. My understanding of like how everything is kind of evolved for you guys in LA is like there's kind of been a migration of a lot of your friends and like-minded people and people that are like basically affiliated with the crew and all that kind of stuff. Like how, I mean, obviously it's working out well for you guys, but at the same time, I want to know how that assimilation is going on with everybody, like getting acquainted with LA and how things are like actually as a legitimate business now and an entity and that's respected on a global scale and all that kind of stuff. Everybody getting settled into LA well? Yeah, I mean, we really feel like LA is just this amazing place for creativity. That's what's and there's so many people there that are just very supportive of new ideas and constantly like inventing new creative things. It's more about the art than trying to figure out like the business of it. So many people just are like excited about your ideas and want to run with it. And we have our office in downtown LA, and John and Danny, they live in downtown LA, and I live just a couple blocks up from them, so like we're almost like all on like the same street even. So you're in the same kind of vicinity, at least what I know anyway, that like Dave Nada and Dylan Francis and all those guys are living. Yeah, there's AC Slater lives down there, LA Riots lives down there, Castle's living down there now. I mean, there's just like so many people that are just like really within like our block that like we just bump into. Like, get coffee, and just say, hey, what's up? But it's cool, like, we're all, like, friends and we all hang out. And so, that sort of, like, community that we've been building down there, I mean, the scene in LA has grown such that it feels like Winter Music Conference, but, like, every week. Yeah. It's just, there's something you You're gonna
can't
make everybody
miss,
jealous
like,
now.
every night. So... It's exciting though, and
totally
because
cool.
there's so many artists that are now moving in and transplanting and relocating to LA. LA's bubbling with music, so we're like right there at it, and it's been awesome.
That's dope. Well, I like I said, that's kind of my last question. I really appreciate you taking out time to like talk to us. Do Androids Dance, doing the bass music life with Drew.
Smog Records.
Here in KC, Riot Room.
Big up.
Androids Dance.